Scotty B.
It's Sports Talk with Scotty Burrell.
Either you can or you don't want.
It's Sports Talk with Scotty Burrell.
We go hard in the paint. Oh boy, you better bring it. Sports Talk, a conversation with Coach Scotty Burrell. Either you can or you don't want. Now, here's your host, Coach Scotty Burrell.
Hey, welcome to Sports Talk. Hey, with me, Scotty Burrell. Either you can't or you don't want. First, I want to thank my sponsors. Sports Talk is sponsored by Rytech, 337-394-1020, Coach C Driving Academy, 337-962-4642. Tico Shaw and the Pig, right here, Dane Green. I always point behind me because the Piggly Wiggly is right up behind me. And Tico Shaw, the little store in the parking lot. Also, Poche's, the most historical meat market and restaurant in Acadiana. Now, our episode 6, man, great guest. Now, current LCA head football coach, former Brobridge High football coach, Zach Lochard. Welcome, Coach.
Thanks for having me, Scotty.
How are you?
Terrific. How are you doing?
Man, I'm great, man. Thanks for being on Sports Talk. It's a new upcoming show, trying to get all these young coaches and everybody involved in continuing in non-season and in regular season. So stay tuned. There'll be a lot of more Sports Talk coming to you. But Coach, once again, thank you for coming out. Let's tell everybody, man. I don't think people got a chance to know Zach Lochard in St. Martin's Parish. Who is Zach Lochard and what's going on?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me, and man, it's just an honor to be here with you. You do a terrific job on your show. I've been watching the episodes, but you know, I'm just a football coach. I've been coaching now since 1999. I got done playing high school football. I started playing college football in the early 2000s. I got my bachelor's degree. I started coaching at Northern Colorado. Spent 3 years there. Worked with the receivers. I finished my bachelor's degree there. I started my graduate studies, and I got hired at Western State of Colorado, coached the DBs and the tight ends, and worked in the weight room there for 2 years. And that's when I got the opportunity to move from Colorado to Louisiana. Mark Hudspeth got hired at UL Lafayette in January of 2011, and I came on that same month and started a 3.5-year journey coaching with the Raging Cajuns, and we won 4 straight New Orleans Bowls, a Sun Belt Conference championship, and I had the blessing to get to coach 35 guys that made it to the NFL over that span right there, and got influenced by a lot of tremendous coaches and guys that are great mentors to me and friends of mine. And I met my wife also while I was GAing here in Lafayette, and so we now have 3.
So you were originally from where?
I'm originally from Longmont, Colorado, which is right by Colorado University.
And you married a Cajun girl.
I met a Cajun girl, yep, Christy Lochard, and we have 3 beautiful children, Krista, Landon, and Hannah.
Besides the beauty, the food and everything was all attraction, huh?
Yes, the weather, the food, the culture, everything down here, it's absolutely home, and it's just such a great place. So super excited to be down here in the South and make it my new home.
Well, Coach, the workload is heavy. That's why I'm holding it with 2 hands, all your accomplishment and everywhere you have been. What is one of your most memorable hindsights in one of the schools you worked at? Because you worked at several schools.
Well, the past 2 years have just been the best years of my coaching career at Brobridge as the head coach. Some of the most memorable games and people and times have come in the past 2 seasons. First one, in my first season there, we ended up the regular season a little disappointing with a tough loss at Livonia, and we ended up 4-6. I didn't think we were going to make the playoffs. Somehow, by the grace of God, we slipped into the very last seed, the 28th seed, and that just kind of lit a fire under our tails, and we decided, hey, we got new life, so we're going to make the best out of it. And we went up to Carroll, who was ranked number 5, and got a big win in the rain.
I remember that.
Yep, and then won in the second round, hosting Iota. So we 28 seed, knocked off number 5 and number 12, and we hosted North DeSoto, the 5th ranked team in the state, who ended up going to the state championship, and we were in that game up until the start of the 4th quarter. We had an incomplete pass the ref called as a fumble return for a touchdown for them, but it was exciting. And then this past year, you know, we ended up 7-5. We were the 19th ranked team in Division II non-select and beat Eunice, the 12th ranked team at their place in the first round. So, you know, a lot of great times, a lot of great people these past few years at Bro Bridge.
So was that your first or second head?
Second head job. My first one was Patterson, which was an awesome experience as well. I've started in 2020, so after, you know, my whole career, I'd worked to be a head coach since 2006, and I've got my first head coaching job in 2020, and then COVID and all that stuff hits, and it kind of changed your schedule and changed everything. So we definitely struggled through that first year, but by the second year, we finished this regular season 7-3. We hosted a playoff game. You know, we were able to have several kids sign college scholarships, Division I scholarships, and things like that, as well as Bro Bridge. Happy that, you know, over the couple years I was here, had some kids sign some college opportunities.
And, you know, I like hearing that because I'm a former coach, but I always tell people, and it might sound like, oh, that's just BS, but I really never coached for wins and losses. Yeah,
That's
of course
right.
I want to win.
That's right.
But my biggest aspiration, being a former player and a former coach, was trying to help the next generation of young men become a great young man on and off the court. That brought me into the game of sports because I wasn't one of those guys that overlooked the opportunity that had.
Absolutely.
So that's why I do this. That's why I did basketball. But I love when you guys come in and you be like, God, I signed a junior college scholarship. That's a lot.
Right, absolutely.
That's giving a young man or a young lady an opportunity to go say, hey, I could make a life out of myself.
Absolutely.
You know, I can get my education, I can meet my future husband, or I can meet my future wife, whichever, you know, case may be. But, man, I love hearing those stories. Didn't mean to cut you off, but I love hearing that. So, Coach, you made your mark at Patterson. You got the call. You came to Bro Bridge. How different was that transitioning from Patterson to Bro Bridge?
It was an exciting transition. You know, every opportunity you're going to learn things from, both good and bad, ways that I can improve, ways that I can do things better than I've done in the past. But you know, the time at Patterson was awesome. They definitely had phenomenal athletes there. They had you know, great people at that school and in that community, and there was a lot of pride in
where the Hilliard boys come from.
Absolutely, there's tradition and history and legacy there. So that was an awesome first, you know, head coaching opportunity. And then Bro Bridge was just a step up from that. You know, you move up to 4A. You know, you get the best of the best facilities and coaches and just people in this community, and that's a program that has won a state championship. That you know, you mentioned the Hilliard brothers, but there was yeah.
Dominique Davis Williams and
man,
Fred
they
Terrell,
had
Jesse Daniels, Johnny
Yeah.
DeZeno, one of you guys was on your coaching
Yeah.
staff last year.
Absolutely.
He was a hell of an SEC player.
Nick Saban recruited 4 Bro Bridge Tigers in the same recruiting class, and it was just a pipeline. I coached lots of them when I was at UL Lafayette, Tyron Alexander, just to name one. But you know, Trevins Pat is another one.
Yeah.
He's been my DB's coach at Bro Bridge, and now he's coming with me to Lafayette.
Well, we got to get these guys
LCA.
on. You named some good heavy hitters there, man. And you know, you're right. To add to that point you made when Saban recruited 4 Bro Bridge guys, at one point Bro Bridge, LSU had a major contributor on their football team that was from Bro Bridge, from Charles Alexander to Jesse Daniels, Jonathan Zenon, and I'm missing one, but I know there's one more. And then
Two national championships in that span as well.
Wow, you're absolutely right, Coach. So you touched on some great athletes that all contribute to the game of football in their respective schools and colleges. So, man, great point. So, Coach, you move from here to Brobridge. That's when I first met you. Man, fell in love with you. I used to say it. I love you, brother.
Oh, man, you're my guy, Scotty. Yeah.
I'm standing on the sideline. I've never seen someone so enthusiastic as you have been coaching, man. My guy, Mike the Bandit, and Kevin Bonham, we do the radio broadcast. I said, man, he's very enthusiastic. He just believe in these young men. And, boy, I said, that's it. It's Zach Lochard and Mr. Enthusiastic and the Tigers. And, man, I gave you that name. But great experience. You was able to coach some good young men. You made it to the playoff. What's your takeaway from just coaching at Brobridge?
Oh, it was just the time of my life, and I'm just so thankful to be around such great people, from the administration to the coaching staff to the teachers there, and the players is really what you do this coaching for. And you touched on it. There's nothing more satisfying, much more than wins or losses, is when a player will come back after he's done and he'll say, hey, thank you for being tough on me, thank you for pushing me through. I didn't realize then, but now I realize how important that was. So, that's the most gratifying thing, in helping these young people to achieve their goals. Right. So that was the best thing.
My biggest thing, I got tired of hearing people tell me, boy, you could have played. I was like, man, what can I do to at least help some of these young men? And I don't know if you know, if Danny mentioned, I was assistant head coach to Brobridge girls basketball.
Yeah.
Coach Chandler Jordan, and we was able to put 5 girls in the college.
Awesome.
And 2 Division I players. So I know how gratifying it is just to see these people, and especially I'm from Brobridge. I'm from that community. So the people that I helped, I knew their mom and their mom knew me. So it was such a gratifying feeling to do that. But so, Coach, man, you had a great year in the quarters. You made that run. All of a sudden, you get a call, man. I guess you got a call on the LCA job came up. But first, I want to touch on something else, Sports Talk. I want to share something that he probably forgot. He had a gratifying story, one of the most gratifying stories, and it's going to make me tear up. That's why I always say that you can or you don't want, but you want to hear this. You had 2 kids on your team last year before we jump on, and it was Kelby Hippolyte and uncle and nephew. And
Cody Noel.
1
and 2.
1 and 2. Knew Kelby's dad, Ruben. We went to high school together. Excellent high school football player. But, man, what a story you had to have uncle and nephew catching and throwing passes, to each other, putting them into college.
Well, I didn't do much on that. That's one of those that just don't mess it up, because those are 2 of the most athletic young men that I've ever had the ability to coach, and they're competitors. They're great young men. They work hard, and they're going to Independence Community College. One of the top community college football programs in the nation, and they're going to really shine. And don't be surprised if when they're done there, they're at a top tier Division I program and in the NFL one day. They're just competitors. They're guys that, would put the team on their back. And the tougher it got, the more you could rely on Kelby and Cody. And I'm just so thankful for, having them as leaders in our program the past couple of years.
And I had to bring that up, Sports Talk, because it's a remarkable story. We actually interviewed Kelby's mom on a halftime show. And I know how much it meant to his dad for him to be a football player and maybe even a college football player, because we know them somewhat personally. So hats off to them. I got to try to get you guys on the show, because that's a story people want to hear.
Absolutely.
And that's why we bring Sports Talk to you, Acadiana, and all over. We bring it to you to hear the stories that you don't see or hear about outside the line.
Right.
That's why I call it just a conversation, Coach. But, Coach, back to the conversation. Whew. You're at Brobridge. Was it a tough time, in your opinion, or no?
Oh, no. Every experience that you go through, especially in coaching, you're going to have ups and downs. But, my personality, you say I'm very enthusiastic, but I've just put my priorities, my faith number one, my family second, and I don't look at it as I work a day in my life. This is what I'm truly passionate about, this is what I truly love. So, I can't wait to wake up at 4 in the morning and get to work. I'm kicking the door down in the morning. So I really love it, and I looked at, every day throughout, this past couple of years at Breaux Bridge is just such a blessing. And, I would have loved to have, stayed my whole career there, and I would have been very happy and very content. But the opportunity came for me to come to LCA. Hunter Landry and Trev Falk took another position. And so this was just one of the premier jobs in the state to me. They've been to 7 straight state championships and won the first 4 of those in a row. Year in, year out, you're getting not only some of the best athletes in Louisiana, but some of the best athletes in the nation. And most importantly to me, it's a Christian-based school, which, is very important to me. Nothing against the public school, but my faith is very important to me and my family. So to be in a setting that, I can be outspoken about it and celebrate that is such a blessing to me. Plus the opportunity to get my kids, the opportunity to come to LCA and me be around them.
It was such a move that anybody, like you said, strong faith, good belief. You could say it was a no-brainer in the heart. When you got the call, and I mean, like you said, everything is a total package. Who wouldn't want to be in a position like that? God bless you and your family. So God bless you. So now you're at LCA, man. You're wearing the old blue and red and white right there. You're an Under Armour guy. All right, Coach. We're gonna second again, thank our sponsors. I want to make sure we get our guys in there. Ride Tech, my man at Ride Tech in St. Martinsville, 337-394-1020. We want to thank Coach C with Coach C Driving Academy, teaching you how to drive and a great driving experience at 337-962-4642. We want to thank Dane Green and Tico Sean, the Piggly Wiggly. Great plate lunches down this way, Coach. If you ever need some meat while you at the Margaritaville, you can come on down and get you some meat down at the Pig here. And Floyd Poche's, man, one of the best historical meat market and restaurant in Acadiana, also probably Louisiana. Now back to our guest, Coach Zach Lochard, man, LCA Knight. Man, I'm getting tie-tongue with him. I'm thinking right, Coach, new position, new powerhouse program. I mean, you already answered this question. My next question is going to be, what drew you to this powerhouse program after leaving your previous job? But you said it, the faith, the stability you can put with your family there. It's a family-based program. Can you share a little difference between your previous coaching job and this new one? How different do you think it's going to be?
Well, it will be different in some ways, and it'll be very similar in other ways. At the end of the day, we get to teach and mold and motivate young men, who are between the ages of 14 and 18. And it's just such a blessing, and it's really a dream come true for me to be at LCA now because it's a place, and I've always been the type that I'm a dreamer. I'm dreaming to win the state championship for the next 35 years straight. So I really see it as an opportunity where I can achieve something like that, and this is a place that I can spend a long time really building something special. And the really biggest difference, I would say, is that unlike the first couple head coaching opportunities that I had, especially at Patterson, there was a lot of work to be done. You had to spend long hours just maintaining the facilities, and there was just so much work to be done. In Breaux Bridge, it was a little bit better, not as much work, but it was still something that you had to just kind of polish up, to whereas coming to LCA, the old saying says, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I'm trying to figure out how not to mess up a really good thing right now. So it's a blessing and it's a dream come true, and I'm just very thankful to administration there, Pastor Jay Miller and his family for giving me this opportunity, and Superintendent Devin Lanchet and Principal Miss Cook. I'm just so thankful and excited to show them that they picked the right guy.
Well, Coach, I mean, you're right. You're absolutely right. It's a heck of a job, but it's a challenging job because you have some big shoes to fill going in, knowing what the previous coaches have done, and the fans are the biggest critics. The parents are the biggest critics, and you don't want to. You want, like you said, if it ain't broken, you don't try to fix it. Let's keep rolling. So, Coach, in your mind, what specific challenge did you face in your previous job that you hope you can overcome at your new job?
Yeah. At Patterson, the challenge was you had to raise funds. I was the athletic director, so I had to go put a suit and tie on and go knocking on doors to raise money for the whole athletic department. I was the golf coach. I was the powerlifting coach. I did mowed the field, painted the field, did everything with the field. Holy moly, yeah, absolutely. So, that was the biggest challenge there, but we were certainly blessed with really athletic and talented young players. And so I would just say that the biggest challenge at Breaux Bridge is just, man, there's so much competition right in our backyard. Yeah. Some of the two of the teams that played in the state championship were right in our division, which is an awesome, opportunity and challenge. Really it was just to work hard every day and stay focused and be the best we could be. So, I thought we did some good things, but I definitely learned some things that moving forward, that things that I can try and improve on. So it was a blessing.
Well, Coach, I could see the challenge because like you say, all these banners and these state championships. So you must have went home one day and said, "Whew, I took a heck of a job. Now I got to go to work right away." So, Coach, how you envision your coaching style or approach involving the new environment? What type of style you're going to bring? What will we see at LCA, in your opinion?
Well, what I want to do is really rely on my coaching staff. I've got a phenomenal coaching staff. I just want to mention real fast. I brought Tyrell Fenroy, who is a legend in the Hall of Fame at UL, one of the best running backs in college. Yeah, and he did a tremendous job being the offensive coordinator for me the past 2 years at Breaux Bridge. So he was a no-brainer, and now he's with me at the LCA, and his family is so awesome. So that's exciting. Also brought Trevance Pat, who is my DB's coach the past 2 years, was a phenomenal player at UL, my years there, and helped us win those 4 New Orleans Bowls and conference championship. And Jared Davis was my receivers coach. He played quarterback at St. Martinville. And he does a tremendous job. He's going to be teaching and coaching receivers at LCA. So I brought those guys with me, and then the staff that was already there are phenomenal. Coach Matthew Standiford, they call him Coach Chop. He's my assistant head coach. He was the interim head coach until I was hired, and he's the offensive line coach, does a phenomenal job. Mitch Kraft is the DC, and he's going to be my DC, and he does an amazing job. He played at Southern Miss, and the kids love him, and he really is special on the defensive side of the ball. Drew Bajeron is my special teams coordinator and is also going to coach our corners. He worked at UL as well, and he's an absolute pro. He his preparation and knowledge of the game is just really second to none. I'm very blessed to have him. Hired a couple other guys. Bubba Alexander as my outside linebackers coach. He was a really successful player at Evangel. His dad was the D coordinator there, and then he went on to play at LSU and Texas A&M and played in the NFL for the Cowboys for a little while, and he brings a lot to the table. Skip Babineau is the running backs coach for the past 10 years at LCA, and he you talk about me having enthusiasm. He runs circles around me, and I'm so blessed.
Get me down there.
Oh yeah, you got to meet Skip for sure. And lastly, Zachary Clement, who is one of the best quarterbacks in LCA history, just a student of the game, a great competitor. He's going to be my quarterbacks coach. So blessed to have an awesome staff. But to answer your question, the style of coach that I want to be now is someone who listens to my staff and listens to my player council. So the first thing I did is I met with the player council, and they told me these things, which says more about LCA and the personnel we have than anything. They said, Coach, here's what we want to emphasize going into 2024. We want to emphasize accountability, finishing, discipline, being coachable, chemistry, preparation, being great listeners and not talking back, and you know, being an all-the-time guy, being somebody who's a leader even when no one's watching. And so for them to say that to me, that's what I want to be. I want to be, you know, someone who's listening to the needs of the team, listening to my coaches, and really this is about us. So you know, it's not so much, oh hey, let's do this my way, and you know, this and this and that we're gonna do. No, it's a family, you know, atmosphere now, and we're all in it together.
Well, that sounds like a group of champions.
Yes, sir.
That
yes,
sounds
sir.
like a group of young men that within a program of championship want to continue a program of championship, and I like that. I never heard of the player council before, but I like that. If you guys are listening, hey, this man got something here. I really like that. Give the kids an opportunity to speak.
Absolutely.
They are young men. They do have feelings.
What I've noticed, because I've been on a lot of great teams and a lot of not so great teams. On the not so great teams, the coaches were the leaders. On the great teams, the player were the leaders.
That's a fine point.
Yep.
That's the old cliche. Coaches lose game, players win game.
That's right.
That's basically what Coach is saying. And we don't get on the field, we don't get on the court, but no, great answer, Coach. So, Coach, how was your conversation with Pastor Jay?
Oh, it's awesome, man. He fires me up more than anything, and you know, he talked to me about, you know, the story of David in the Bible, and my middle name's David, so he had me I had goosebumps, you know, on the story. Everybody knows David and Goliath and that whole thing, but you know, what he really encouraged me is that, you know, he compared my opportunity at LCA as David's opportunity before he slayed Goliath, because God knew that David, even though nobody knew him at the time, he was sharpening his skills and he was working on his craft every day, you know, and he followed what the Lord wanted for him. And Pastor Jay is just such a amazing person, and his family, they're just such great leaders. And you know, my family and I attend family church as well now, and just the message and and everything is so phenomenal there. So I really just am so excited, you know, to be working under a great leader such as Pastor Jay.
Sounds like that's your dream job.
It is. That's what I put, you know, when I found out that the position was open. That's the first thing I wrote in my, you know, application, email, whatever, is, you know, it would be an absolute dream come true to be the next head football coach at LCA, and my dream did come true, so I'm very blessed.
So, Coach, first I want to say thank you for the job you've done at Breaux Bridge, being a former Breaux Bridge grad and follow football and basketball and all the sports. So I thought you did an outstanding job. But if you had to look in the camera, Coach, and to the Breaux Bridge fans and young men that was in your corner or not in your corner, don't matter, what would you say to them?
Oh, I'd just say thank you. And you know, the people that I've built a relationship there, it's a lifelong relationship, you know. Mm-hmm. So the players, you know, my cell phone is the same, and if there's ever anything I could do for anybody moving forward, you know, I'm still taking calls from college coaches who are asking me about Breaux Bridge kids, and I'm still wanting to do anything I can to help them, because they're the type of kids that will run through a brick wall for me and my staff, and they're yes sir, no sir type of kids, very respectful, very coachable. You know, it's an awesome community here in Breaux Bridge, and I was just so thankful. And yeah, I just want to say thank you to all of the players and people in the community at Breaux Bridge.
And now to your new family.
I'm just excited. I'm ready to get going, and you know, every day is just one more opportunity to build relationships. You know, get to know people, get to know more about the position and the challenges and the opportunity. And you know, we're working hard behind the scenes, me and our coaching staff and our players, and we're very excited. Well,
that was one of my next questions. That is, you're playing. It's not to build a rapport and trust with the players and your staff. I can hear how much trust you have in your staff already. What's your philosophy? Just building that trust and the kids trusting you and you trusting the kids. How are you going to go into that, Coach? Just trying to build that.
That's been the biggest thing since I've been hired. You know, it's not been, you know, oh, let's get into the playbook and X's and O's. I mean, it's really just developing genuine relationships, and that's got to be built through trust and through, you know, honesty. And it doesn't happen overnight. So. No. You know, my first day I got to meet with the kids. You know, I spent about an hour with the whole team, and I was just talking from the heart and letting them know how much I care about them and excited about this opportunity, and excited to get to work. Then I got an opportunity to meet with the parents, and that was a tremendous opportunity. And they asked me questions, and we talked about our future and ways that we can you know, work together, because it truly, the old saying, teamwork makes the dream work, is absolutely true. You know, it can't be just on one person. It takes a whole village. You know, but that's been the biggest thing that I've been focusing on, is not going too fast, and you know, not being ungenuine, but just authentically, you know, building relationships with these young people, because that's the most important thing when it comes to my position as the head coach.
I definitely agree, because these young men got to trust you. They don't know you. You know what I mean? It's not like some of us, we were born and raised here, so the parents knew us. The kids get to know us through the parents sometimes. That's a good and a bad thing, but it happens. So, no, the kids got to, you know, trusting you guys and knowing the previous staff, the type of coaches that they had, Trev Falk and all them. Yeah. I think with you bringing in the right type of guys, such as Finroy and Pat, these guys want to meet these type of guys. Mm-hmm. People that have been there, been through the trenches, played college ball and left their mark, because that's the type of program that you see LCA. We're going to have Errol Rogers come in too one day. I'm just waiting to get it set up with Errol Rogers. So Errol, I'm coming to get you. Sports Talk is coming to get you. But before we go, just tell us, the fans, something about Zach Lochard that nobody knows or that you would share.
Oh, sure. I mean, aside from football and church and, you know, I really just love to hang out with my family. I love the outdoors, you know, so my kids and I are always looking for adventures and stuff. So, you know, I think you really have to categorize, especially in this business, because you could work such long hours and get so bogged down with work that you got to be able to step back and enjoy life away from it. And I'm just so blessed. I've got a great support system. My family, my parents moved from Colorado here. I was an only child, and so when I had kids, their grandkids were here, so they moved here. Yeah, my dad has a home inspection business, Lochard Home Inspection, and my mom is retiring. I've got great in-laws, Liz and Chris Louvier, and you know, my wife. She is just such a blessing to have met, and we're building a family, and that's
amazing.
Yeah, that's the most gratifying part of life right now.
To have you in Acadiana, I want to personally say, hey, you're a friend of mine. We want to thank you for being a guest on Sports Talk. Either you can or you don't want. But before we go, man, I want to thank again my guys, man, Ryan at RITEC in St. Martinville, Dane Green and T. Cochon here in Cecilia, Coach C Driving Academy in Breaux Bridge, and Poche's meat market and restaurant here in Cecilia / Brobridge. It's on the borderline. So if they ever tell you, Poche's is in Cecilia. It's right on the borderline of Brobridge and Cecilia. First, I also want to dedicate this show, man, to my guy, Big Dave Thibodeau. Man, Dave, was always a piece in my heart for you, all what you've done for me as getting into the business here, especially doing radio and coaching basketball. Also, I want to give a shout out to one of my best friends who passed away a couple of years ago, Sherman Big Worm Darby, man, from Lafayette, man. He always used to say, I'm from Wine Alley. I said, I've never seen an alley full of wine, but I've seen some winos in an alley. But that was my guy, man. Love you guys, man. And a shout out to my older brother, Claude Jr., who passed away several years ago also. So this show is dedicated to you guys. Once again, we want to thank the new and current LCA Knight head football coach, Zach Lochard. This has been Sports Talk. Either you can or you don't want. Thanks again, Coach.
Thank you so much, Scotty.
Appreciate it.
Scotty B.
It's Sports Talk with Scotty Burrell.
Either you can or you don't want.
It's Sports Talk with Scotty Burrell.
We go hard in the paint. Oh boy, you better bring it. Sports Talk, a conversation with Coach Scotty Burrell. Either you can or you don't want.